Hello everyone, I'm Hilary Chin. Thank you all so much for coming and watching my YouTube channel. Today I want to teach you how to manage business using Power BI, okay? Or how to analyze your business using Power BI. I have a small data set that I extracted from my YouTube channel. Of course, how I did that is another skill for another day. But I just want to show you how this data has been brought into Excel, and I'm going to remove it from Excel and then I'll upload it into Power BI, and then we try to do some visuals, and you and I will be analyzing that business. Okay, and this is to show you practically what these tools mean. Okay, they solve daily problems. One of the challenges that businesses are facing today is to understand the inside of their business. Just imagine that you got into a supermarket, just imagine one of the big supermarkets in Cameroon, and then they give you all that data in an Excel sheet, maybe 1 million rows or 10,000 rows, where maybe customers have bought some goods, locations, dates, etc., etc., customer name, and all that stuff. And they just throw you that data in an Excel file, and they ask you, where are we making more sales? They ask you, where are we making losses? They ask you, which products are we selling most? They ask you, where are we selling most products? They ask you, where are we making losses in terms of products? They ask you, these are the questions. You can't bring out that question by just looking at that data set. You need to start manipulating that data. So I want to show you how that works using Power BI. It's a little bit advanced tool, but not really that advanced because developers have made work easy. They have made it very easy to use. It's for free. Of course, it has the purchase version, but of course, you can start with this Power BI desktop. You can start using this and really learning why you build up to buy or subscribe to their premium version. Of course, let's get in. Let me show you how I put this data into Power BI, and then we try to create some visuals, guys. This is practically showing you what it means to be a data analyst or data scientist or information manager or data engineer when it comes to managing data and manipulating data. So just see yourself like this. A company calls you and say, hey, analyze this business, tell us the insight so you can inform our decisions as a company. Let's jump in so I show you what I mean. So this is my Power BI. Just launch my Power BI. So I can select data from two areas. So here I can go to Excel here and I click. So here I can select through here, or I can go up here and I click here. Okay. So I want to analyze this YouTube data, and then I choose open. And then I give it some time. It syncs into the Power BI system navigator. You can see it here, and then I choose my table. You see that once I choose this table, you find the data here. I can preview this data from here to see how it looks. In other case, you can have many tables here, okay? And you select each and you preview. And then each time you select this table, you find out that this icons here come on. Okay, so I'll just go to transform data. I can load and start analyzing, or and start creating my visualizations, but I want to transform the data. So I'll click transform after I've selected, because I want it now to launch into my Power Query. So this is the same Power Query we have in Excel. So right here, the reason I brought it here is because there are some issues on this data that I want to sort out. Okay, the first issue I want to sort out is that this content column here, I don't need it because it doesn't make sense. It just has some crazy codes. So how can I select this or remove this out? I'll select my column here, and then I go to this option. I go to home up here and I go to this option that says remove column, and I click. So I can remove column by selecting that option. You see, it removes that column immediately. And then I can undo what I just did now by going on this other part here. Please follow my mouse by going on this other part here and just clicking that. You see, just deleting that action that I took, and then it will bring the column back. Now I can still select the column and I right click, and then you see it say remove, and I remove from there. So there are different ways that you can remove columns. I can still undo this. I can still go up here to choose columns, and I click and I go to choose column. Okay. And once I click or select that option, it shows me all the different columns. It shows me content, video publish time, duration, views, etc. So let's say you have data. Usually we analyze data with columns. You might have about 30 columns, sometimes 50 columns. So you can use this method to select just those columns that you want to use. In this case, I can unselect this content and then I click OK. It will still delete this column back. Okay. The next thing I want to do now is that I want to check this row. This row up here, I don't want it because this row has no values, okay, and it's not relevant in this data. So what I'll do is I'll go also to this remove rows and I click, and it says remove top rows and I click remove top rows. So it gives me an option. So I want to remove the first row, because when it says top row, it means you are starting from the first row up there. So I want to remove one row. So I will write one. So it removes this one. If I write two, it comes and remove two. If I write three, and so on and so forth. If I wanted to remove the bottom rows, I'll click bottom and then it goes down and remove. Okay. So I've written one here. So I'll just click OK. You see, and then it removes that column, that row. So this is how you can manipulate your data within the Power BI system. So the next thing I want to check now is percentage views. I want this percentage views to be there. I also want the views themselves to be there, and I want the duration to be there. But there's something I want us to do here right now. I want us to separate these dates. Here we have the day, the month, and the year. So I want us to separate the day, the month, and the year. But I want to have the names of the days, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And I want to have the names of the month, maybe January, February, March, and so on and so forth. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll select this column here and I'll come up to transform here. And when I come to transform here, it gives me an option here called date. But before I do that, I'm going to duplicate this particular column into three. One will be for month, one will be for year, one will be for day. So I'll right click and I come to duplicate column and I click. Duplicate simply means making it turn two. Okay. So I've duplicated and we have one here. We have another one here. So I'm going to come here again and I duplicate again and I duplicate again. So now we have three of those columns. Okay. Now this one here, I want to name it. I'll double click and then I delete that comment up there and I put year. Okay. I want this one to represent year. And then I'll also come here and I double click and I delete backspace and then I put day. Days with S. Okay, I want this one to represent days. I'll come to the last one, double click, and I do backspace, and then I put months. Okay, so this is what I want to do right now. All right, so we are good to go. Now, what I'll do is simple. I'll start by clicking the year, selecting the year column, and then I go up to transform, go up to date, and I select date. You see now I come to year, and I just click year, and I come to year here, and then it transforms. You see what happens? It simply comes and then selects all the years and then delete the month and the day. I'll also come to days here and I select and I go again to that date and then I choose day. Where is the day? I go to day and then I could take days, which will be in numbers. I could take day of the week, of week, day of year, etc., etc. But I just want the name of the day and I'll click name of day. You see, it turns it to the day, name of the day. So you have Friday, Sunday, Wednesday, etc. I'll also come to the month here and I select and I go to that same date now and then I go to month. And once I go to month, you see month, start month, etc., and I choose name of the month and I select. Okay, you see, it gives me May, October. You can see the names of the month here. Now, there's one thing I want us to do here. I want to undo what I just did right now. I still want to duplicate this cell because something just came to my mind right now. I want us to also have it in quarters, okay? So I'll just put Q. I'll just put quarter here. Remember that quarter is the first 3 months of every year. Okay, that's a quarter. It means there are 4 quarters in 1 year. Okay, first 3 months, January, February, March is a quarter, and then the next 3 months is a quarter. Okay, so I'll come to this month again, go to that date, and then quickly go there and then choose the month of the date. And then now I'll come again and select again under quarter, go to the date again, and then you see that I'll come now to quarter. Are you seeing now? Quarter of a year, start of quarter, end of quarter. So if I choose start of quarter, it selects all the first 3 months of the year and then gives me. but I just want quarter of the year and I click quarter of the year. You see, now it gives me, you see the numbers here. What it's saying here is simple. It's saying that anywhere you see one here, it means it's the first quarter of that year. Okay, because in terms of year here, we have right from 2002 to 2003, 2004, 2005. So this is when I started publishing my videos on YouTube. Okay, 2002, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we are going to look at how the views have grown or how they fluctuate per day and per year, etc. Okay, so I am good to go right now. Then there is one thing you always have to check again on your data. Always come here, right click like this, and then come to change data type and always choose and always check. Because for instance, here you have percentile, you have whole number, you have fixed decimal, you have decimal numbers, you have dates, etc. Okay, for instance, if I come here on views, views here is seen in numbers. Okay, so if I come here and I put date, you see that it's going to show me, it's going to distort that data, or it will be difficult for me to analyze it well or create visuals well. Okay, so I'm showing you this option because it allows you to change whatever is up there. For instance, to fit your data and make it work properly. For instance, here we have the month is ABC because it's text. Here we have the quarter is 1 to 3 because it's numbers. Okay, and then here we have average percentage views. Here we have 1.2 because it's decimals. Okay, it deals with decimals. So this can go for money, etc., etc. Okay, amount, how much, etc. Okay, so let's go now and then go to home here, and then we click this close and apply. And then we are now going back. It's going to take us back to the desktop view of this our Power BI. And here now we'll start creating our visuals to see how the new Semotech business is functioning in terms of data. So this is what you call data analysis. Okay. Today we want to just visualize. So here now I'll go here and then I want to see my views per month. I'll just click views and then I click month. You see? And then I come here, I click month. And then now I want to make it big. You see? So it's already telling me that in terms of this month and views, month against views, we have May having a lot of views. Now, there's something I want to do here. I want to bring year under my legend here, okay? So that I can see every month, I can see every year what happens in that month. For instance, in 2022, which represent this blue, okay, I had this amount of views in December, okay, in 2022, right? I had this amount of views in October, just 2 views. And then I had nothing else. I had this amount of view in November. And then in 2023, this is what I had in the month of December 2023. This is what I had in the month of October 2023. Okay. And then in 2024, this is what I had in the month of May 253. This is what I had in the month of January. Okay. 96. And in 2025, this is what I had in the month of May. So this is just how you analyze your data. And then in the month of June, where we are now, this is what I have. And then in the month of March, this is what I had. You see? So it means that in the month of May, I had a lot of views, 2,840 views, okay, in 2025. So this is just how you can analyze your business. I'll choose to remove this year from here, and then I want us to create another visual again. Just click here and then come here to views against the year. There's something I want to show you here. Now, if you look at what is happening here, you realize that it's summing up the years because I created my, when I was doing my analysis and clean the data, I put the years under numbers, okay? But we can fix this just by bringing the year now to our legend. So I'll prefer to remove the year from here and then I bring it under our legend here. The Once I bring it under this legend, it gives me the views now per year. So in 2025, this is what I had. In 2024, this is what I had. In 2023, this is what I had. So it fluctuated. So the first year I was creating my video in 2022, which is October, November, December, I had 105 views. And then when I moved to 2023, the whole of that year, I had 2,464 views. And then I moved back now to 2024, it fell down. And then now it has grown to 3,820 views. So this is just how it fluctuates according to my YouTube business. Okay. And then here now, there are many things I can do here. I can come here again and then I look at the days as well. Let me go to the next pane of my visuals. If I come here again and I say quarter, I want to check the views per quarter and I come to views here. Quarter means the first 3 months of every year, okay? So here again, it's summing the quarter. So I'll prefer to bring my quarter under legend here. So once I bring my quarter under legend here, you see that it shows me quarter one, two, three. Quarter one, two, three here. Okay. You see that it shows me that quarter. Sorry. Let me reduce this to make the view more easy for you to see. Okay. You see that it brings me to this quarter one, two, four. Okay. And here now, I can still decide to bring my views again to the x-axis. Now, why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I want to show you something very important. Sorry, the year, because I want to be seeing each quarter of every year. Okay. And I click OK. Perfect. Now, there's something you need to learn when it comes to analyzing data or visualizing your data. Learn to try things, learn to test things. Okay. Once you have brought your data in, try to put it under the x-axis, y-axis, and legend. Just try to do that regularly. While you are doing that, you are seeing how it is functioning on your dashboard. This allows you to be able to catch the flow that you expect on your data set or on the dashboard you are creating. So right here now, you see that we have got a very good flow. Now it says that in 2022, we had just 4 quarters. It means we had just October, November, December. And here we had 105 views. In 2023, we had the first quarter, we had 308 views. Second quarter, which is the second 3 months, we had 604. And then the third quarter, which is the third 3 months of every year, it fell down a little bit. And then the fourth quarter now, this is what we had in the fourth quarter. Now I can try to bring another visual here to see how you function. You see what happens? This visual is just amazing. You see? So it's telling me that in 2024, in the fourth quarter, this is how the fourth quarter flows. It goes up and then comes like this and then ends here. Okay. And then the first quarter just goes flat. Okay. Most of the first quarter went flat. And then the third quarter tried to rise a little bit from 2003, went right up to 2004. And then we are not seeing it around 2005 because we have not entered the third quarter yet. Okay. That data is not on this my data set. I'll bring that data in, God willing, in next video. So this is it here, guys. Okay. So now let me show you how to clean your visual. I want us to clean this visual and then put some numbers. Let the data labels appear and you see some other stuff. So many of you are asking, how can we put our data labels on this particular visual? Okay. I'll just show you. I'm not going to really spend time creating a comprehensive dashboard here, but I'll just show you basically how we can put our data labels on and how we can clean this data. So once you have clicked here and once you have cached the flow, you come here and then go under this small icon. You say format your visual and you click. When you click format your visual, you have the general option and you have the visual option. So under the visual option, you have the x-axis. You come under the x-axis, you have a value and you have title. So those of you who don't know x-axis, when you put this value off, you see that the value of the x has gone off. If you put it on, it comes on. It means this is the X axis, okay? And then the title here is year. So if I click this year off, I would like to put this year off, and then I would like to keep the value, okay? And then also, I would like to, this is my legend here, they are on. So this legend represents the quarters, one, two, three, four. So I can put it off, you see, it went off, I can put it on. And then also, if I go under my Y axis here, you realize that my y-axis has value as well and it has titles. We might love to remove the values and the titles. So if I remove the value here, you see that all the values around here goes off. If I remove the title, you see that the title also go off. Okay. If I go right down here, you see it says data labels on and I click on. These are all my data labels. They have come on. Okay. And there's something you must know. If you go under this data label and you put that thing, that drop that arrow down, you find here, you see what it calls values. Okay, this is values. Under these values, just check, you would see that you can bold your values, you can make them even bigger. Okay, you see, I can make them even bigger. These are my values. I can make them bigger, and under here, I can decide to display them. Maybe I want to display them as thousands or none, and I'll click. So it gives me exact amount. So it says that in 2023 we had 1,320 in the fourth quarter. In 2024, in the last quarter we had just 12. And then in 2025 now, in the second quarter, which is the second 3 months of this year, like the 6 months, we have 3,611. So there's a growth that we are seeing right from 2022 when I started. And when I started, it was just the fourth quarter. It was just, I started in October, November, December. So looking at this data, I can track back when I started this YouTube channel. Okay. So this is my business I'm analyzing right now. Okay. So here again, we can go down here and check and see there is something here called background. I'm already seeing the background here. I'm sorry, the title here. So if I go to general here, it gives me the title is on. So this is the title here, the sum of views by year and quarter. So I can just say views by year and quarter and I just click, delete some of that aspect. You see that it affects it here. I can also go under this title and I bold it. Okay. And when I bold it, I can change the font size, okay, to blue. So you see, it changes to blue, and then I can make it even bigger. You see, so I'm just showing you how to clean your visual. You can do even more creative things with this visual, okay, as best as you can. So that is it. I can remove it from one angle to another. And then also here, when I'm writing my title here, I can decide to fix it maybe in the middle or on the other end or by that end or in the middle. You see? And I can wrap my text. There's a way you wrap your text to keep it really fit in a small box. So I've wrapped that text there. Okay? And then we have effects here as well. So I can go to that background there and I change the background. You see, it changes everything around the background. And I can make this transparent. You see, I can make this transparent. After changing that, I can make it transparent. You see, so you can do a whole lot when it comes to visual. Okay, and then here now, there's also one thing I want to show you here, which is important. If you do this again, you can come to insert and you go under here to shapes and you take this line. There is this line here. You see it is right here. Many times when you design your visuals on Power BI or in Power BI platform, you would want to use this line maybe up here to create your title. Okay, maybe there's a title of this and you want to call it a name, and then I would always love to select this, Control C, Control V. Okay, and then I have two of them right now. You see, I can start designing, Control C, Control V, and then I can click on this. There is something you must understand. Each time you click on a particular visual, you see that the option to adjust that visual will appear here. So if I go to shape here, it says rotate. I'll go to rotate and I'll rotate 90 degrees. Okay, I'll rotate 90 degrees. I want to rotate 90 degrees. So this is what I was rotating 90 degrees. So it's right here. It means I want to have a column and a row. Okay, that is how I want to have it. So this one is a column right now. It takes the form of a column, and this one takes the form of a row. So I also want to duplicate this one. Control C, Control V, and I have two of them right now. I'm just showing you how you can better organize your visuals, because if I turn this to a report and I turn it to PDF, if you don't put this line, your visuals will not have a good border lines. Okay, so these are just border lines I'm creating for this visual. Okay, and you can do this, you can do more visuals and just create your border lines and adjust them. So I was just showing you how to create this. As I said, I'm not here to create a fancy dashboard. I'm just here to show you some skills to do some technical things. Now here, I can also come here and then I choose my text box. I choose my text box. So I have chosen my text box. Now this text box here has a whole lot of role to play so far as this is concerned. Okay. So here now, you see, I can come here and say new Semote. You see, I've written inside this text box. I can select it. I can select it like this and I bring it in the middle. You see, it's moving my text. And then here, I can change the font size to 18. You see, and I can also change the color. I can put the color to this and then I can bold the color. Okay. And then I can adjust this how I want. But many times, this is the technique I use to move this around my Power BI platform. So I can come here now and I write anything, maybe a title or a name of my dashboard, etc., etc. I can add whatever I want to add here, okay, and make this really, really good. I can still decide to put bullet list here, and then I go under there, and then I write something else, and I say hello. Are you seeing? I go under there, and I keep writing how are you. Okay, I'm just showing you that you can really do a whole lot. So you see, so it gives it in point form. If you want to write maybe a report, you can still write using all these options that you see here. So right here now, I can just, and there are many things you can still do around here. You can still put an effect here. You can change the background of this my text box. You see, I've just changed the background and then I can make it very transparent and you still see new Semo text just as we did with the visuals itself. Okay, so that is it, guys. So this is just something I wanted to show you, the different techniques that you can use in order to analyze your data visually. Lastly, I just want us to look at something again. I want us to go now to days. I'll click days and I click views. Okay. And here you see that it is on a table form here. You see right here is on a table form. And under here, it gives me these options. If I come here and then I choose this data again, and I want to see the days that people are watching my videos, okay, the different days that people are watching my videos. Now we have the days on X axis and we have the sum of views on Y axis. I want us to look at the days of the month. So I'll take month and bring it under legend. Okay. All right. Or I want to look at the days of the year so that my visual don't have a lot of stuff there. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So you see that here now, if I come to Wednesday, it shows that in 2025 Wednesdays are very good. 2024 Wednesdays were not good. 2023 they were not good. 2022 they were not good. You see that in 2025 Wednesdays are very good because more people are watching. There are more views on Wednesdays. Take note of this. This is Wednesday. And if I come again to Tuesday, it's the same thing. Tuesday is good. If I come again to Saturdays are also good. If I come again to Friday, you see Friday very less, just 108. Mondays just 191, and then Thursdays are the worst days. So I can use this now to inform the way I post my videos on YouTube. I can say, okay, every Wednesday I'm going to be posting because many people are watching on this day. Okay, so this is just how you analyze your business, and you see that in 2025 there is increase on Wednesdays. Okay, this 2025. So from here now, it informs my business. I'm able to understand when they are watching my videos, and then this data becomes useful and it becomes very informing when it comes to my business. Thank you all so much and hope this was helpful. Stay blessed.